Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another Halloween themed video for you. I'm obsessed with movies, especially horror films. I just thought I'd film a video showing you my favourite horror films and ones I think you should watch this Halloween. So I was going to do a top 10, like my top 10 horror films, but I could only get it down to 12. I have on my Halloween t-shirt, which is incredible. I got this from Primark the other day. Back to my favourite horror films, or at least my favourite horror films to watch on Halloween. I have Chucky here with me to go through the list. If you don't know Chucky, then what are you even doing here? Go and watch some horror films and then come back to me. Yeah, so Chucky's here with us today to go through my favourite horror films, and if there's anything you think I should be watching for my Halloween movie marathon, leave the names of the films down below and I'll be sure to check them out. Anyway, let's get down to business. There are a couple that aren't exactly horror films, so I'll start with those. Obviously, no Halloween movie marathon would be complete without The Nightmare Before Christmas, which I watch pretty much every week from Halloween till Christmas because it's just one of the best films ever. It was such a labour of love for Tim Burton and Henry Selick. I just love it so much. And I have a crap ton of Nightmare Before Christmas memorabilia, which I might do another video on when I've moved into my new house and I've set it all up and everything. If you guys would be interested in that, let me know. The other family film I have is Hocus Pocus, which, if you're a 90s child, I'm sure you will have loved. It's just corny and wonderful. It's just epic. And I just can't get over how adorable Thora Birch was in it. She was just so cute. And if you didn't fall in love with a cat, there is something wrong with you. Yeah, there have been rumours they're going to do a sequel to this, but I'm not sure if that's actually going to happen. But Hocus Pocus is just the best kind of family film to watch on Halloween. On to actual scary horror films, if you can call them scary. I'll start with my all-time favourite Halloween films. There are pretty much three that I will always watch. Those being Nightmare on Elm Street. I actually recently bought the Ultimate Collector's Edition, which has the first one along with the other 6 spin-offs. Because it was just the time of the sequel back then, wasn't it, really? I must say one of my favourite ones was the last one, actually, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, where he comes out of the films and starts attacking the actors in the film, and I think he actually ends up killing himself. Robert Englund is killed by Freddy, which is it's just brilliant. There was another one, I think it was The Dream Child, where there's some kind of weird Freddy baby thing that was just creepy as fuck. But yeah, I cannot go through, I just can't not watch Nightmare on Elm Street on Halloween. It's one of my all-time favourites. I love it. It was also Johnny Depp's first major film role, I think, and he is so cute in it until, you know, he gets sucked into the bed and all his blood comes out. But you know, still awesome. It's about Freddy. He can jump out of your dreams and kill you. Well, he kills you in your dreams and no one can help you because you're asleep. Yeah, and he's got his lovely clawed hand and a rather snazzy jumper. Obviously, you can't have Halloween without watching Halloween. All these films, I must point out, are the original ones. I am not watching any of these remade, or what was the word they use now? It's not like a remake, it's a reimagining. It's just shit, isn't it? You just can't beat the original. It's just so good. Michael Myers, who is this crazy little kid who for some reason murders his sister rather brutally in his hometown of Haddonfield, and then he goes to a mental asylum and then he escapes and goes back to Haddonfield and just starts killing all of the slutty teenage girls. And obviously Jamie Lee Curtis was adorably tiny in it and wonderful, and I really love the fact that like his mask is a William Shatner mask that they painted white. I just love that, it gets me every time. Finishing the triptych, we have Friday the 13th, which again is one of my all-time favourites, and I have the Friday the 13th t-shirt that I got from Primark as well for £5. What I love about these films is they all, like the three of them all have like some major star looking ridiculously young. Like in this one it's Kevin Bacon, is about Jason Voorhees, who is this creepy fucker who cannot be killed. He goes to Camp Crystal Lake and he always kills all the camp counselors because they didn't save him from drowning, which if you think about it is just really mean. Like you can't really blame the guy. Yeah. Oh, this one had 9 sequels. I only have 2, which is pretty shameful. Which leads me nicely on to my next film in the list, which is one of the sequels, which I bought for 80p from Kex. 80p, which tells you just how brilliant this film is. This one is Jason X, which is my favourite of the sequels because it's just so, it's just so insane. So it's the year 2455, and there's some people on a spaceship doing space stuff. Basically someone realised they couldn't kill Freddy, so they froze him in like one of those cryo chamber thingies, and they find him and defrost him, and then he just like starts trying to kill everyone because he's like a bit grouchy. And there's an android and some kind of strange nanobots or something. Like I think they kill Freddy or something happens to him where he's injured, and then all these nanobots like get into his body and make him like Jason X, and he's all shiny and silver and just unkillable once again. And it's just a top-notch film. Top-notch. Obviously we have to throw in a couple of the proper old school classics. This one is George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead, which is just brilliant. I can't really describe, I'm not describing any of these really well, but I just love them so much. And it's just your good old classic zombie film, which has inspired many of the zombie films we enjoy today. Another classic which I have to watch every single Halloween is House on Haunted Hill. Because what is Halloween without a little bit of Vincent Price? Basically it's about Vincent Price, who, I can't remember, oh, his name is Frederick in the film. He has this big old house and he tells everyone it's haunted, and he invites all these guests to stay at the house, and if they can spend the night then they will all win at £10,000 each. Except, you know, it's a horror film, so things go pretty downhill pretty quick. 1958. You don't get much more classic than that. Although I did have to leave Nosferatu off the list while I was being rather ruthless, which was made in, I believe, 1922. But it's just Vincent Price at his absolute best, and I just love Vincent Price. Obviously, having Chucky with me, I have to mention Child's Play, otherwise he may well get offended. Again, I have all of the sequels because they are just epic. I mean, what is more terrifying than a murderer stuck in the body of a doll? Not much. Not much. So basically he's a murderer, he's on the run, and he needs to transport his soul into something pretty damn quick in order to escape going to prison. So he accidentally finds himself in a toy store and transforms his soul via voodoo magic into the body of a good guy doll, which then finds its way into the arms of a rather sweet little child called Andy, who just wants to be his friend, you know. But Chucky makes it really hard, and like he keeps trying to put his soul in his body, and then he kills people, and he pushes a woman out a window, and it all just gets a bit out of hand. I just love how they animated it. I love all the animatronics and everything in it. It's just epic. If you want to go a little bit more psychological and trippy, you could try The Shining. The Shining is great. I just absolutely love Jack Nicholson's character in it, whereas he goes slightly insane, and it's just so creepy. I love it. Also, Shelley Duvall, I believe, went a bit nuts during the filming because of all the pressure put on her. And I think you really can feel like the tension and pressure she's under like throughout the film, and it's always uncomfortable watching, but it's really good. It's really, really good. Poltergeist, which does make me a little bit sad when I watch it, because obviously the little girl died shortly after they finished filming the sequel to the film, which is quite sad. But Poltergeist is a classic. It does feature a scary ass clown thing, a clown puppet thing that just, oh, I can't watch any films with clowns in. I watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and it just, oh god, it was so creepy. I just couldn't handle it. Poltergeist is a classic, and it's a little bit more like, it's not really like a bloody like slasher film like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, but it's really creepy and scary, and it plays more on like people's individual fears and stuff. But I just love it, and yeah, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. The last film on my list is probably a lesser known one. This is The Crow, which isn't so much a horror film, I guess. It always makes me think of Halloween, so I tend to watch it around Halloween, and it's actually one of my all-time favourite films like ever. Although again, I cannot watch it without having a little bit of a sob to myself every time Brandon Lee dies in it, because he actually died like filming that scene, which is just, oh, it gets me. It's making me a bit teary right now, to be honest, but it just, oh. This film brings out a lot of emotions in me. This is about rock star Eric Draven, and basically he gets murdered and then he comes back to life. I think like this crow brings him back to life, and then he goes around basically killing all of the people who were responsible for the death of him and his girlfriend. It's not a horror film, but I feel like the aesthetics of the film are very Halloween-y, but this is one of my absolute favourite films in the whole entire world. Before I get too emotional, I'm going to wrap this video up. If you're having your own Halloween movie marathon, comment down below and let me know which films you'll be watching, so I can check out some more and probably add more to my ever-expanding DVD collection. But yeah, if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, and if you're not already, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys soon. Happy Halloween!